Hello and welcome to today's video. In this video I'm going to run through all of my favorite equipment that I own, that I use on a daily basis, and it's going to be quite rapid fire because I want mainly the people that are a bit unsure what gear to use, where to spend their money. Hopefully all these recommendations are going to be solid recommendations, because so many people, when they first start out, they go and spend loads of money on all this gear, and then as they start to use it and as they see other work colleagues, they realize that what they're using isn't the best way to have spent their money, and then they end up going out and buying something else instead. So this is basically to show what I use pretty much every day, and why I recommend it, and why they're all solid options for you. You can't go wrong with any of this stuff that I'll recommend, but I'm going to try and do this quick fire, because it could take me forever to go over all the fine details of why I like stuff. So I'm just going to show you the gear, maybe give you a brief reason why I like it, and then move on to the next piece of gear. So yeah, my name is Dan Holiday, this is climbingarborist.com. Thank you so much for joining me, and let's get into what gear I use.
Hello.
So let's start with the basics, the common stuff. So harness, I use a Tree Motion Evo. I believe this is the one just before Teffelberger stopped working with Tree Imagineers. So this is a Tree Imagineers designed Teffelberger Tree Motion. I think it's a Tree Motion Evo. So that is what I use. Awesome, it's got the double bridge on it. What do I have on the harness? Well, obviously I've kind of set it up the way I like it, with lots of gear loops and stuff to carry lots of carabiners and lots of equipment like slings, all that kind of stuff. I have this little butt clip for my chainsaw. That's because I use the Husqvarna top handle chainsaws, and it has a great little clip there, so that just slides in. So one-handed, you can kind of slide that in and out, and it's real. Like, the butt clip is really sleek. So basically, if you use the Husky with this little clip on, the butt clip is primo. It's perfect for it. So yeah, I use the butt clip. I have the DMM Volt also, which is the lock-in DMM on this side, just to carry a bunch of carabiners and stuff. I do have the Shembiner also, which is good to rack the handle of a chainsaw if you want to mount it sideways. I have another DMM Volt on this side as well. So I love the DMM Volts because I used to use the Petzl carry tool, which are plastic, which were the first version of carry tools, but because they were plastic and you would lose the gate a lot of the time, that would pop out, so then your stuff wasn't as secure. And so once the DMM Volts came out, that was just more secure for your equipment, really. So what else have I got on here? I've got so let's go to carabiners. So my favorite carabiners of all carabiners are Rock Exotica. So when I want to use an oval, so in like the Hitch climber setup, I use the oval. I'll use a Rock Exotica Rock O. Obviously I'm using a DMM Hitch climber, which this is the original Hitch climber. So I'm using that for the Hitch setup with the rope wrench. I love the rope wrench, and Hitch combo. It's still such a great system. All these new mechanical devices coming out, but I still do love the Hitch system. So that is pretty much my go-to stationary rope system setup. So we've got the carabiners on that one is the Rock O. I don't know, I'm not sure why I've actually got the Ultra on this one. It's probably because I just picked that up when I was setting this system, but I would usually have the Rock O here. I've got the Rock D for when I just want a carabiner that doesn't have to have like multiple things in, like the hitch cord. So the Rock D, because it's I mean the reason I like the Rock Exotica carabiners is because they're just they seem like they need the least amount of attention, the least amount of like lubricant. The action is always so crisp. So yeah, that's I've used carabiners for, you know, for 20 plus years now. Used to use a lot of DMM, still do have quite a lot of DMM, but I transitioned over to, on my climbing systems and on my lanyard, I'll use the Rock Exotica. So in terms of hitch cord for my climbing systems, I will always use the Teffelberger Epicord 9.3 mil. That is my favourite hitch cord of all the hitch cords, and with the ropes that I run, it seems to work the best. So my the rope that you cannot go wrong with, and it's just a solid rope. I use it still to this day. I've used it for many years, and that is the 11.7 rope range from Yale. It's like the Blue Moon range of ropes. So this one is one of those. This is confetti. This is actually one I use for a competition, so it's kind of still nice and clean. But yeah, the 11.7 mil range, it's 24 strand from Yale. It has a nice kind of elongation percentage. I think it's about 1.5, I think. Yeah, it might be about 1.5 elongation. Might be a touch more than that, but it is the perfect amount. It's great for stationary rope system, great for moving rope system. You never even really think about it stretching too much, but it's nice in the hand. Like the thickness is, for me, it's perfect. So a solid rope, cannot go wrong. 24 strand Yale, 11.7 mil. And they do so many different patterns and colours and all that kind of stuff. Another rope that I like, very similar in size, I believe. So this is Teffelberger Ecstatic. I believe this is 11.8. So you won't really sense the difference. This is 32 strands, so the cover is just a little smoother than it is on the 24 strand. As you can see, again, I've got the Epicord, Teffelberger Epicord 9.3 on this setup with the hitch climber. Still the original hitch climber on this side, but this is the hitch climber Rapide, so the bearings are just better bearings on the Rapide than they are on the original. So that's the ropes. For friction saver, I still use the ring and ring. I have various friction savers, but I do like the ring and ring. That's because it adds the rings add a little bit of friction. So when you're using your moving rope, yeah, there's a little bit more pull to ascend, but then when you stop for that second to like tender slack, you as a person don't feel quite as heavy, so it's not quite as much weight on your arm. So I actually like the balance, the compromise of you pull slightly harder on your way up, but then when you have to hold yourself, you feel slightly lighter. So yeah, and this is, what is that? I think that might be a 24 strand, like a Tachyon, like a pink version of Tachyon. But I'm sure somebody in the comments might identify that for sure. And then and it's an adjustable ring and ring. You never want to buy a fixed ring and ring, because the adjustability is such a benefit when you want to cinch it around a smaller union, or you want to extend it around for spar work. So adjustable, always get adjustable ring and ring if you're going to get a ring and ring. So that is friction saver. Talking about climbing systems, I absolutely love the Petzl zigzag. So I have I have 2 zigzags. I have the older version, the small older version, and you see the bigger new version. I prefer the one without the swivel eye, because I just like to know it's going to be in the same position every time I go for it. It's not going to have worked itself around like that. So I actually prefer the one without the swivel. So zigzag, absolutely love it. Yeah, it's very predictable every single time you use it. Very predictable, and that is, I suppose that's what we're all aiming for. We like to know something's going to work exactly as it worked the last time we used it. So zigzags, I love the DMM revolver rig. I've got a couple of those. So these are great for multiple reasons, but they're great for redirects. Even a moving rope redirect, you can link 2 together in line, and then you can have a leg of line going through both of those. So yeah, love the revolver rig. You can actually find multiple uses for this one carabiner. You can use them to set up like mechanical advantage systems, and because it's a carabiner and pulley like combined, then it's shorter than if you had a carabiner and then you put a pulley on the bottom. It's just like, you know, one less piece of equipment. Yeah, love it. And it's got the Beckett attachment on the bottom of it, so you can link things together. So I love those pulleys. I do. I have the Petzl, that's the roll clip as well, but it's not quite as high, got as high rating on it as the DMM. It's not quite as bulky, as beefy. So and the pulley wheel itself, the sheave is smaller, so probably a tiny bit less efficient. But I have one of those anyway, and I have just a Petzl crawl just connected to that for any quick mechanical advantage systems when I'm climbing on an SRS system. So I have that. What else do I have on my harness? Oh, this is a great little one. I have a little 8-ounce ball attached to like a small little Petzl accessory carabiner. That's actually got like a plastic captive eye on it, so that I'm not ever going to lose that ball. But what I use this ball for is just advancing my rope. It's easy to throw with the 8-ounce weight on it, and then it means that you can flick your rope and it will actually come back down to you a lot easier than if you just have a carabiner on the end, or if you try and join like 3 more carabiners to the end. Having that weight on my harness all the time. It's just a little 8-ounce, so it's not heavy, but it's heavy enough for what you want it for. I have yeah, just some more carabiners on there. So I have my first aid like blood stopper pouch just on my leg there, so it's kind of an easy reach if I need it. If I do cut my arm, it's kind of easily reachable. I have a tourniquet in there as well. I have like the old style, like the rats kind of tourniquet, which obviously is a little bit, I suppose people would say it's a bit harder to use than like the other ones, but it's just easy and compact to put in there. So I just have that just for emergencies. And then I have like a sling down there. That's a dedicated kind of like bridge to bridge in case of a rescue emergencies. So I keep that on my leg loop. What else do I have? So I have a Camelback system that I'm just going to check that I'm recording. Oh yeah, I am recording. I just had a real bad feeling then that I forgot to record. Alright, so yeah, let's carry on. So I have a Camelback. Imagine I'd done all that and I forgot to record. Camelback, obviously hydration, especially in the summer months. Like, I'm so bad for drinking water, so I first got this, and then obviously thought, well, this kind of can double up as a chest, like a tender, like to tend my system. So it's got as a standard, it has a Velcro, so you can undo it there. But I had that stitched together because obviously with the pressure of like this tending up, then it sometimes would pop off. So yeah, I had that stitched. But this is fantastic for tending my climbing system, and also I have like little bits you can attach carabiners for, just for easy access. So yeah, have the Camelback. So foot ascender, I've pretty much always used the first off started with the old Petzl Pantin, and now I've gone to the next one. The reason I actually have a left-footed one, I always use left foot, and the reason I started using a left-footed Pantin, probably the majority of reasons why people might use a left foot, is because when I first wanted to buy a foot ascender, they only had left-footed in the shop. So I was like, well, I'll take that then. And so because I've always learned with left-footed, I always have a left-footed ascender. I have used other ascenders. I used the Camp Turbo Foot. I've used, what ones I used? I used like the Harken, was it Ninja or something? It's what the notch one is, the double cammed ones. Yeah, I don't like that one. And I've tried like friends foot ascenders, but I always like, I've never had anything bad happen with the Pantin. So why, like, there's no reason to change. It has the little lockout lever there, which is, you have to have a lockout lever when you have a foot ascender. I used to hate the ones where it didn't have a lockout lever, and then you would put a carabiner in to lock it, but then you have to take out the carabiner each time, and just annoying really. So yeah, Pantin foot ascender. I actually, knee ascender, I don't use one that you can buy off the shelf. I made my own knee ascender, so yeah, so you can't buy that, but I made my own. I actually but I do have a, hang on, where is it? I have a knee ascender that I made, that's like a traditional one. God, so much gear in this bag. Actually, I must talk about bags next as well, I think. I'm gonna lose all this stuff on her. So yeah, this is a knee ascender I made. It's a very like traditional one. It's using the Petzl crawl. Just clip that to your boot, and then you've got the elastic to tend it up. So that's as simple as a knee ascender needs to be. It's all about getting the length right, getting the elastic right to bring it up enough as your stride. But yeah, obviously there's other knee ascenders you can buy like that are pre-made for you. Let's see what else I've got. I've got a little wedge that is really handy for when you're doing removals. I'll have it on like a, I'll put it on like a chainsaw lanyard. So I have these like skinny chainsaw lanyards. So I'll have it on that, have it attached to me. And you're doing your cut, especially if you're doing like a large removal, and you get like 3/4 of the way through, or yeah, like 80, not even 90%. You just put that in so it doesn't trap your bar. And then at any point you want to take it out, you've just got this little wedge, and then you can do like your little step cut on the other side. and then you can kind of deal with a piece of wood and push it off, and you don't need to worry about that because you've got it attached to a little leash. So I have that. Obviously retrieval balls. I have a lot of like little accessory carabiners, like the DMM ones. I have the Rock Exotica ones. Oh, I'll tell you what, I've got something else on here as well. This is actually coming so handy many times. Is I've got a little combi spanner or scrench that I drilled a hole through. It's got a carabiner through. I used to slide it. I used to just slide the combi spanner down in there, but now I drilled a hole instead, and I carry that on the harness. And there's so many times where either somebody can't find a combi spanner, or I'm in the tree and I need one just for a quick tension of the chain, or the chain pops off. So yep. Helmet, I use the Petzl Strato, the vented one, or maybe they're all vented. Yeah, are they vented? So this is, yeah, this is vented anyway. Strato. I use the high vis one at work. This is the same as well. This is what I use at competition. Yeah, I do like the high vis one, and it comes with like the reflective strips on it as well. This is the second one of these I had. Yeah, I went away from the Protoss. I loved the Protoss at first, but then I went away from it. Just went back to, I suppose, more traditional helmet really, and mainly because of the earmuffs. I think I wanted some really good earmuffs. Like my left ear is quite bad, like hearing, because of something that happened in the past, and so I'm just trying to protect my hearing as best as I can. And so the ear defenders or earmuffs that I use are the MSA Swordin, or I think in North America they might just buy Swordin. That's the brand. And then I get the real good ones. I think they're 105 decibel rated, and they have like this extra red bit in between the original casing. Then you get the red bit, then you get the kind of rubbery bit there, and they're so good, like the hearing protection. And I always loved this. I think it's kind of like this system here. I don't know who originally designed it, but it's what always comes on like the Husqvarna stuff, Husqvarna helmets. So I don't know if it's a Husqvarna design or it's somebody else's design, but it's really like there's a lot of pressure that this puts on, whereas the one with the wire, like the Pelter ones, don't seem to add that much pressure to it. So yeah, I use the Sena headset, the Bluetooth headset. I have I think this is the 50R, I think. Yeah, oh, it says there 50R. And this has like the mesh intercom, so you can have like, I don't know if you can have like unlimited people, but you can definitely have some crazy number like 20 people or something on it, as opposed to the original Senas, which were like up to 4. But they also do connect with the older version, so I have another helmet with an older version on, and this connects to that. What else? Oh, we've got the base anchor here. I have the ART snake anchor. It's just such a good bit of kit. I suppose very simple, but yeah, awesome bit of kit for a base anchor. It's 16 feet long, so it'll go around a huge trunk. Has like all these sewn pockets, sewn eyes, so you just, wherever the closest sewn eye is to the ring, that's where you clip in. Just fantastic bit of kit. Oh, let's talk about the Throwline, Throwcube, Fultima Throwcube. Like I've got 3 of these. I've had many other Throwcubes, but the Fultima is the unrivaled Throwcube of all Throwcubes. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. They are expensive. And that's probably what puts people off from buying a Fultima, because the price point is definitely expensive, but they're worth it. Like, I've had these, what is it now, 2020, it's nearly 2025. I probably had my first Fultimer at like 2000, maybe 14. Yeah, so Fultimer. I use, weights wise, I don't use anything. I'm not one of these die hard, like, you've got to use this specific weight. I just use the Weaver. I either throw with 10, I have a throw with 12 ounce now, or 14 ounce. 14 ounce for if it's something where I know there's going to be a lot of friction in the canopy, and I want to know it's coming down, so I'll throw the 14. 12 ounce if I want a bit more height. The line that I use is the Teffelberger Dynaglide. That's been my favorite line for many years now. So yeah, the throw line is Teffelberger Dynaglide. The throw weights that I use, most of them, the ones I prefer to throw with, are the Weaver ones, and they have the Weaver, or whatever throw ball you get, you have to get one that has a little attachment point on the bottom, because you don't, if you're new to the game, you don't realize how useful that little attachment point is for when you like attaching on your rope or your double bagging or whatever. So don't buy a throw ball without a little attachment point on the bottom of it. So I want, did I do my lanyard? Oh yeah, lanyard. Can't believe I didn't cover my lanyard yet. So lanyard, as I said before, I love the Rock Exotica Carabiners. So I've got the Rock D on that end. I've got the little DMM Prusik on this end as well. That's so I can choke around to turn it into a single line configuration. And then I have the ART positioner. It has like the built-in swivel on it. The positioner 2. I have what's that? It's a Petzl OK carabiner on there, and this is again, what is this one called? I can't remember the name of this one, but this is the 11.7 again. So it's the same rope as this, just a different pattern. And then I have a little bit of accessory cord that just a hook. So this is 15 feet I have of lanyard, so I don't want it trailing way down below me, so I have this little Prusik cord to just make another loop to keep it all kind of nice and neat. And then what else? Handsaw. This is the OG. I have the Zubat 330. I have to have a leash on it. So this leash is from like a wild country rock climbing tool. So that's what that leash is from. You have to have a leash on your handsaw. I love the ability to maybe drop it if I just want to deal with the branch, or just so that it doesn't kind of get pulled out by a branch climbing through the canopy and then you lose your handsaw. For finer pruning, a bit of fine pruning, I've got the Silky, what's that, Surgai. It's just a finer blade, makes a finer cut, so Japanese maples, something like that. What else we got? Oh yeah, chainsaw. So by far and away my favourite canopy chainsaw, the Husqvarna T540. Well, this is a 542 IXP, so this is the one with the clutch in it. But the T540 IXP, I would recommend this or that one. This has the slight added benefit of when you're doing when you're making larger cuts, the clutch is there to kind of like be an intermediary between the electric motor just kind of stopping because it's getting overheated or not. So yeah, T542 or the T540. They are phenomenal. The ergonomics are great. The build quality is great. The batteries are great. Just everything about it, fantastic. I don't think, like, some people might say they use other saws. Like there's the Still, there's the Milwaukee, there's the Echo. I've used the Milwaukee. In my opinion, just it doesn't rival this one. So that's what I use. Love it. Use these little chainsaw lanyards, the real skinny ones. Who makes these? I don't remember, but I love just like how small and just kind of they don't get wrapped around stuff. They don't twist around. I'm just never fighting with the lanyard, that's what I want out of a lanyard, because yeah, it wants to be something that I don't think about, but it's there in case I drop the saw, I suppose. So that is that, and let me come on to the final. Let's do we're getting into the final bits of kit. I have to bring this up because I absolutely love this. I've got 4 of these now because I love them so much. It's the Petzl Spin L1D. It's a small pulley, but it's a one-way ratcheting pulley, so it spins one way and then locks out the other. It has like what they call a faceted sheath, which adds more friction to the rope. And if you want to know more about this, because I absolutely love it, everybody has to have one of these things. It is so good. I actually made a video just on the Spin L1D. So just make sure it's the L1D, not just the L1. So yeah, it's a one-way ratcheting pulley. It's awesome for light rigging. So what I use it for is whatever I can hold by hand with this pulley, I use it for. I never use it with a porter wrap or anything, because then you might start getting into those numbers where you're going to start like overloading it and stuff. But as long as you can handhold this thing, which you'll be amazed how much weight you can hold by a hand with no extra friction apart from this pulley, because basically the pulley is adding the friction, and it's crazy. Like, it is unbelievable. So yeah, I've got 4 of those. And if you're building like a mechanical advantage system, they're great. If you are using it for a speed line at the bottom of the speed line to tension it up, it's great, because then you can pull the tension up, but then the weight doesn't kind of pull you back because it's adding friction. Fantastic bit of kit. Oh yes, last thing, spurs. I use the Gecko, the carbon fiber geckos. Yeah, pretty simple, nothing. Yeah, they've been around for many years, the Geckos spurs. They're a solid spur. I got the carbon fiber ones just for the weight. Yep, that's what I use. So I think that's pretty much the stuff I use on a daily basis. Obviously I have lots more stuff here and there, but nothing really that I would advise going out and spending money on it. If I don't use it on a daily basis, then it's probably something that's just extra money that you can buy when you've got a bit of extra cash floating around and you want to spend some money on something. But yeah, so I really hope that helps, just with some gear choices, where to allocate some money, why you might want to buy something else. Trying to think, just to make sure I haven't missed anything really. Yeah. Alright, yeah, thank you for tuning in for the video, and yeah, I really hope that helps you make some decisions about what you might buy next. You're coming into 2025. Thanks so much for watching, appreciate it as always. Be safe out there. See you on the next one.